Hey you guys, welcome back to the Vibe Guide. So I know it's been a couple of weeks. Really no real reason, just life and this thing doesn't pay my bills, honey. So this is kind of the first thing to get taken off the calendar. Um, I feel like life's been a little crazy. I feel like it's been hard to record the podcast because I feel like a lot of the energy that I'm feeling is like it's from like political stuff and like obviously Donald Trump getting into office and just I don't know. I feel like life is moving much faster. I feel like it's very real that it's moving faster. Like there's so many moving parts to the world that are happening. It's hard to keep up. Um, it all feels pretty overwhelming. And so like internally in my life that was kind of happening. And then like externally it was happening. So it was just like all a lot over the past couple weeks. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but it just feels like very strange energy. And there's just so much stuff to keep up with. Like what I was watching the news today and they're like it's a live stream of like a flight, an airplane now that can pass the sound barrier or something. It's like 1,000 miles an hour. They want to like make those into commercial flights by like 2029 or something like that. And I'm like, and guess what? How much the tickets will be? 5 grand. So looks like I'm not going from London to New York in 3 hours. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, what the hell? And then next thing you know, it's like the White House press secretary and like that's on the news and like all that. Oh my God. And like that irritated me. Why is she 27? I'm like, girl, at 27, what was I doing? I was literally like partying in Costa Rica. That's what I was doing at 27. Like, you're the press secretary for the White House for Donald Trump. I'm like, what kind of sociopath are you? I'm like, good for you. I guess if that's like your professional aspirations, but I'm also like, girl, I cannot wait to see what her photo looks like in 4 years. Because you know how they always compare the presidents from when they started their term to when they ended? Yeah, Caroline, whatever her name is, like, good luck, girlfriend. Good luck to her soul. So, anyways, all that was going on. They were giving out loads of information, and they briefly touched on the drones. You guys, they did, and he mentioned basically gaslit everyone that the president says that they are I couldn't quote verbatim because she said it so fast, but basically, like, yeah, she kind of like brushed over it. Like, Donald says that they're the FAA knows what they are, they know they're there, but you know what? There's also been a whole bunch of recreational drones in the sky now, and like that's probably more or less what it is. So like nothing to worry about. It's fine. It's not foreign adversaries and blah 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 for research purposes. Just gave a bunch of bullshit off the bat, and I'm like, oh, okay. I thought Donald was Mr. Truth Teller. MLK, JFK, releasing the files. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm not here for that. It's all a distraction. Not here for that stuff. So, anyways, as y'all can tell, I'm not like super happy about the inauguration and all the shenanigans. And then I literally wasn't even watching it. And I really wouldn't, regardless of who was being inaugurated. I don't think I've ever watched an inauguration. But, anyways, I went to go get my laser hair removal. So that was important. That was priority to get the hair lasered off my asshole. That's about the energy that I have towards Donald Trump's inauguration. So, anyways, I come back home. I was like just catching glimpses on TikTok. It was like them making fun of Melania looking like the Hamburglar. Like I was just getting clips, you know what I mean? It was like standard stuff. I was like, okay, this is nothing new, whatever. And yeah, then I got home and I like was making my lunch and I sit down for like 2 minutes to watch it and I tune in, of course, right at the time that it's Elon Musk giving his like glory speech for everyone putting him into power. And he gives a Nazi salute. And I'm like, okay, see, this is the era. This is the era. Because I knew as soon as he did it, because he didn't just do it once, he did it twice. And in my soul, in my being, I was like, wow, we're just really flagrant now. Like, I had a feeling you aligned with those values of what a Nazi would align with. I had a sneaky suspicion. And now here you are, just like totally confident, emboldened. You got your BFF Donald as the president. So, like, nothing's going to happen to you. And here you are. And I also don't think he's going to last very long because him and Donald are just way too egotistical. And I don't think that they're going to get along very well. Too many chefs in the kitchen, okay? So I don't think it's going to last very long. But anyways, that was really disappointing to see and disgusting actually. I shouldn't even say disappointing. I was disgusted. And then I'm like, you're not even American. Like go back to your own country and stir shit up. Like your cars suck. They're ugly. And I'm not even just saying that now. I've always thought that. They're literally, I don't even know how to open the door. I'm like, the car should not be this complicated. This is stupid. Like, not a fan at all. And like, stop sending rockets and polluting my airspace and like, stop doing that. I don't need to go to Mars. Who needs to go to Mars? Put yourself in the spaceship, Elon, and you take your ass to Mars by yourself. Like, this is also what I want to say about these billionaires standing behind Donald Trump. Look up what their charity, what they give to charity. Go look that up because they're all fucking sociopaths. They will be trillionaires, you guys, and go look up what they give to charity. It's disgusting. It's unfathomable. It's just, and these are the people like that. I don't know that much about government systems. I don't know about all the things, but like oligarchy sounds about right. It seems very suspicious to me. And it seems very much like how Mr. Putin has his shit set up is what's happening over here. Because y'all just wait in 3, 4 years whenever Donald's got to go. And what was he just joking about it the other day? Like, oh, well, they say I only have 3 more years, but like, or I can't do a third term, but who's who's really reading the Constitution these days? You know, like he was joking about it. And I said that the other day when he first got inaugurated. I said, y'all wait till he's got to go because he ain't leaving. He's going to be like that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. And he's like, I'm not fucking leaving. That's how he's going to be. So, like, this is what y'all wanted. And if he does have to leave, he's going to make sure that there's someone that aligns exactly with what he aligns with in his place. Like, the world of democracy, you guys, is slipping. And this is like what I think astrologers were trying to warn everybody about and like inform everyone that like 2025, the systems that we know will be no longer. And I don't know, they don't know if that's bad or good. Who does know? Something that's bad for me could be great for other people and vice versa. So it's like very good or bad, we don't know. But like systems are going to be changing. I don't even know if that means we won't have democracy anymore. We'll have something else. Like, I don't know. But it's starting to seem that way because it's like a little cuckoo cuckoo out here. And I'm just like, is anybody else on the same page? Is anyone else out here? Is like anyone else hearing me? I feel like I'm in a glass bottle. Like, hello, ding, ding, ding. This is what y'all want? It can't be. Are y'all blind, deaf, and dumb? Like, I don't know. I just like, how do y'all not see the writing on the wall? I don't know. But anyways, that's why this podcast episode is hard to record because I have very strong opinions. And I'm a Sagittarius and I say them just exactly how they come out of my mouth and I don't think about the repercussions most of the time. And at the same time, I also don't care because we're living now in this censored world where Meta, everybody, they've also censored my TikTok, which pisses me the fuck off. TikTok was like the only saving grace, China. Okay. Now it had a blackout. Now the Americans have taken it over. Now it's censored. And that's true. If you think I'm just making that shit up, Meta was apologizing, saying they were sorry about censoring you. And for those that don't think that's a big deal, like go read a book about Hitler. You know what I mean? Like go educate yourself because this is what happens. They censor what information you can receive in your brain so that you only have one thing. What they want you to see is what you see. And like here I am on this podcast. So it's like I'm not going to shut the fuck up and I'm going to say whatever I want to say. And also, I don't you think I look at the numbers of this podcast? You think I give two flying fuck there could be one person listening to me week after week after week. I could care less. This thing is not paying my bills. It's not paying my bills. So like I'm going to come on here in this censored world that we live in and be uncensored. I'm editing this bitch, okay? They're not. What could they censor the platform that it goes out on and lower the numbers even more for myself? Sure. Sure. Of course they could do that. But that's how I feel. I'm just like tired of like this like watered down world. It's like no, like what's happening is fucked up. There's marginalized people all over this country that are being attacked by this administration. These institutions, democratic institutions that you have to defend if you still want democracy are what did he do today? Put them all on a freeze. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a bad thing to I'm not here for the bureaucracy. I'm not here for the bureaucracy. I'm here for democracy. The bureaucracy and the paperwork and the bullshit and the government people who walk around with their little lanyards and their little name tags and their like styrofoam cups of coffee. No, I'm not here for that. I'm like, we don't need all these people. We don't need all these things. We don't need, like, slim it down. It needs to be a well oiled machine. If that means you lose your job, sorry, babe. Like, you'll be fine. You'll go get another one. Like, it happens to all of us. We've all been laid off. We've all had to like make career changes. You're going to be fine. Like I will give him that. You know what I'm saying? But like what I won't give him is that what he cherry picks to, especially like the freezing of all the funding of everything. What's going to get funding back is what panders to Donald Trump's agenda and this like Project 2025 agenda that he says he's not going by, but it's very crystal clear that he is because if you read it, this is exactly what it lays out. So, yeah, I don't that's fucked up because he's a white rich male and doesn't understand marginalized human beings in the slightest. He's a psychopath. So, and neither do all the people in his administration. They're all a very specific type of person. So, this is the issue. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that I'm like, okay, like that makes sense. Like I would probably do that too. Like that's great, whatever. But it's the reinstating of things that and it has to align with only what Donald Trump says needs to go and like what needs to stay. Like that's the problem. It's not how democracy works. It's not how the system works. And basically he's very flagrant about it. And like the White House secretary lady, the 27-year-old, she's like basically like, well, I mean, we think that we are legal in our right and like blah 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 and the news outlets are like well Congress says that it's not so like where you know what I mean and now it's like all about perception now it's like well we perceive that this is our right and we perceive that, and I'm like oh this is the world we're landing in okay and this is what I want my listeners to know is that this is the time and this is from like my intuitiveness speaking of like this is the era that you have to buckle down and you have to ground and you have to understand yourself. If you don't understand, times are moving so fast right now, you guys. Things are spinning at light speed, things are going, things are changing, it's getting thrown out the back door. Like if you don't have a moral compass, if you don't know what you stand for, if you don't know an ounce of who you are, you're going to get spun around like a tornado. And also, this is the era of like whatever, like what's reality anymore? Donald Trump, he doesn't follow the rules. Why the fuck am I going to follow the rules? He doesn't want to go by the Constitution. Well, why should I? Why are you going to put me in jail based on law and order when you got some people following it and some people that don't? You got some people being pardoned for attacking police officers and other people go to jail for the rest of their life. So, like, we're living in this very wishy washy world. And so, this is what I'm saying for like my listeners is that, like, we really have to pay attention to our intuition. You have to pay attention to like what you feel in your body, what you know. Like if something intuitively dings with you, that's wrong, that's not right. Stick with that. Like the Elon Musk example. You throw up a Nazi salute then you want to turn around and go on your little platform and tell everybody else they're delusional because that's not what that was. That was what it was. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a backbone, if you don't have a grounded sense of who you are, you don't trust in your intuition, you don't trust in what you feel goes on in your body, something like that's going to throw you. And you're going to start questioning yourself of like, damn, well, maybe it wasn't a Nazi salute. Maybe he did it on accident. He did it on accident twice. That's real. I'm telling you guys, because that's what it feels like it's going to start happening. You're going to get gas lit the fuck out of. Okay. So I feel like that's all I really want to say about the rest of this political situation is just like trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your moral compass. How, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a Christian and we live in this Christian nation, well, you need to be looking out for the marginalized people of this country if you claim to be a Christian. And I'm calling you out right here. I don't really care. Like, I don't care anymore because a lot of y'all aren't. And you're standing behind Donald Trump, and Donald Trump looks out for the white people of America, and that is it. So I'm just not down with it. And I'm going to be on here saying exactly what I want to say. And like I said, if you don't like it, there's a lot of other podcasts. Bye. Nice to know ya. Okay, this book called On Tyranny. I wanted to shout this book out because my dad bought me this a few years ago. I think it was the first time Donald Trump got in office. And the way the world was kind of sliding, and it has been sliding, because guess what, you guys? It's not just America that's going through this like uber right wing shift. You know what I'm saying? We're not the only ones. So, um, this book is by Timothy Snyder. It's like a comic book kind of. It's got like illustrations and stuff like that. And so I just feel like if you want to educate yourself a little bit more, and it's just it says 20 lessons from the 20th century. And yeah, it's just like how to survive authoritarianism, and I'm not claiming to be an expert on any kind of government, anything, right? And I take everything with a grain of salt, just like this book. But it's good information, and it's thought provoking, and it made me think about things, and it's got very important just like life lessons as well. Like, I mean, just basic stuff of like keep a personal life and be a patriot. What else? Be as courageous as you can. Like lots of investigate, formulate your own opinions. Like just important things that I don't want my listeners to forget about. I really don't. And like if I had children, I would be giving them this book because it's important. And we don't pay attention in history class, but this is like a cool book, and it's got a lot of interesting information. I don't know what this sticker is. Did my dad put this sticker in here? This my dad had to put this in here. If y'all order this, which we're not ordering on Amazon, by the way, so you're gonna have to go to Barnes and Nobles or something. Y'all let me know if y'all have a sticker in your book. It says law is reason without desire. And that was a quote from Aristotle. And then the next quote, it says, to that end, it may be a government of laws and not of men. And that was John Adams. Y'all see that sticker? I would not put it past Joel Penix to create stickers and put them in our books from like quotes that he thinks are like important to know. What a deep dude, too, because I'm like, what does that even mean? Law is reason without desire. To that end, it may be a government of laws and not of men. John Adams. Okay. Anyways, I just thought I would shout this book out because, um, and like I said, you can take it with a grain of salt. You can take everything with a grain of salt. But I found it very interesting to read. So there is that and my political rant. I've also read Timothy Snyder books on, he's written a lot on like the healthcare um how awful our healthcare system is in the United States and stuff like that. And I read that in like 2 seconds because I was like, duh, I know this. I live this every day. Duh, 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 duh. Everything he was writing about, I'm like, duh. But now this stuff, this is not my wheelhouse. It's got a lot about Nazism, Hitler, because that's that era. Like that's what happened, you know? So, um, yeah, interesting read. I thought I would just shout that out. Um, and you can read it if you want. Let me know if you do. So, what else has been going on, you guys? I've had, on a lighter note, you know what I'm saying? Whew, my God. Job search. So I am waiting to hear back. Let me check my email right now. Have they emailed me back? I had an interview last week. I did like a four-person interview and I was not prepared for that. It was like a panel interview. And if you're in healthcare, you know what I'm saying because I haven't interviewed in like a decade. Because if you are in healthcare, they literally, if you have a pulse and you have a nursing license, they hire you. And then they're like, oh, yeah, what was your name? Okay, great. Well, this is where you'll be. So, yeah, it was a panel interview and I was like not prepared at all. And I think I felt like I did okay, but I also, this is very true for like people who are in the interview process or looking for jobs. It's like be authentic because we can very easily be someone that we're not to like fit into a company's mold of like who we think that they want. You know what I mean? But it's like just be real, be authentic because if that company or whatever job, whatever it is, like if it's meant to be, it'll be. And if you're meant to like work in a company and like your personality gels and like who you are as a human gels, then like that's good. But like if you're going in and acting like someone totally different and you end up in a company, you're probably gonna be like, ooh, I don't really think I really fit in here. I don't really like that. You know? So just be like authentic. I mean, do I go in there like cussing like a sailor like I normally do? No, like I'm a little bit more polished and like I'm like not a rabid animal. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely myself. Like what did they asked me a few questions and I think my answers kind of like threw them off. They were like, "Oh." Um they asked me, oh shit, now I can't remember. About my goals. They were like, "What are your career goals for 2025?" And I was like, yeah, I don't have any. Like I'm just my goal is to like get out of the job that I have now. Like that's probably that would be the goal. And I'm like, listen, goals aren't bad. They're just not my thing. And I'm like, for companies and corporations and stuff like that, like having goals and like I think that's important. But like for me in my personal life and in my career, I don't do goals. I just don't. It's not my thing. And they were like, oh, okay. And there was one other thing that she asked. I can't remember off the top of my head, y'all. But she was like really kind of like stumped. She was like, oh God, I can't remember. I really can't remember. So, anyways, yeah, I had the second, they called me after that, after the panel interview. I guess they actually liked me. That was nice. So then they called me and set up another interview. And I had that last Friday, maybe, is that Thursday? And it was like just one on one. And she was a little bit higher up. And she had a lot more information on the actual position. And so I was like really like the way she described it, like made me really excited to do it. So like fingers crossed that I get it. So we'll see. It's a travel dialysis nurse educator position. So I would be like training new hires and stuff like that and traveling around the US to do it. So yeah, I think that would be really cool. A really interesting job. I'm like so ready to get out of like direct patient care. I love education. I really do. I love training. I do that now. I had no idea that that was like something that I would be good at. I didn't think I would be a very good teacher, but I guess turns out I'm pretty decent at that. And yeah, so I feel like it'd be a good fit for my life, to be honest with you, and like where I'm at. And so we'll see. Put out some positivity, positive vibes for me. What else has been going on? Oh, you guys, I haven't gotten into the stock market. I have gotten into the stock market. Lord have mercy. So I, for like ever, right? I've always been intrigued by the stock market. I've never like understood it. It's always been like mush in my brain. I'm just like, what is going on? So I was like scrolling on TikTok. This was like maybe 2 weeks ago now, and a Dallas housewife, the Real Housewives of Dallas, one of her, I forget her name, she popped up on my For You page, and I was like, oh my God, where has this girl been? Like For those that don't know, The Real Housewives of Dallas has been canceled for like, I don't even know, like 8 years or something like that now. So I like forgot all about this girl and I was like, whoa, no way. So I went back and looked at her page and then she had like a couple TikToks of like stock information. And I'm like, she does not give that she's like a financial expert. You know what I'm saying? Like she does not give that energy. She gives like dumb blonde energy. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her, but like that's the energy that she gives. Very like underestimated. I remember that from the show. She was always like very underestimated. She was always like very ditzy and just like here for a good time, but like she's also low key really smart. And her husband like went to Harvard. He's like a businessman and whatever. So I was looking at her page and she had some videos about stocks and I was like, okay, interesting. So then I clicked on it and she was sharing like what she does with her, how she invests in the stock market. And I was like, huh, okay. And she was like, I use this app called Quiver Quantitative. And I was like, okay, what is this? And she says, I follow Nancy Pelosi and I just do whatever she does. And I was like, okay, interesting. And like I've heard I've just heard, word on the street, honey, word on the street. Nancy Pelosi is like stock market queen. She don't lose. So I had heard that, and then to have her double down, and then to explain what this app is, and the app follows, it gives you the information because if you're a congressman or woman and you're trading, it has to be publicly disclosed. Are the times off? Yes. And that's a big deal because like one day in the stock market, if you miss a deal, you don't sell at the right time, like you miss it. So it is behind. It's like 5 days behind or something like that. It's like a big chunk of time. I don't know why. But anyway, so the app shows you what they're doing, what they're publicly disclosing, how much they're investing. And I mean, she's big guns. You know what I'm saying? She's putting half a mil, 50K. Like she's investing a lot in some of these companies. So I just like had a look through and I was like, interesting. And then I'm just like researching some of these companies and I'm like, wow, this is really fascinating. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that too. Just like on an experimental basis. Like, am I going to retire on these little pennies that I'm putting in? Probably not. But I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to invest. I have like a Roth IRA and like that's it. And I'm just like, we need to do more. I'm just interested. I'm intrigued. So I basically did exactly what she did. And did I do it to a T with Nancy? No, I did not because there's some companies that morally I'm not going there. I'm not buying Amazon. I'm not Meta. No, I'm not. So I bought a few companies. Some of them I didn't know that much about. I just kind of like Googled them and I was like, oh, like AI technology, like what? Okay, like we'll do that. So some of them I didn't realize what they were. And I mean, I'm putting like, I own like one share, you guys, like 1 1/4 or some shit like that. Like putting pennies in. So, anyways, that happened. That's fine. Stocks going up, blah, 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 blah. Then this week, yesterday, I think it was Monday when the stock market opened, it like, listen, it wasn't like, 2008 recession crash, but a big old drop in the NASDAQ, whatever that means. I don't even know what the NASDAQ is, but it sounds right. So, uh, this is not financial advice. Did I say that? Because I mean that. Um, I One of the companies that I invested in, Nvidia, they own, which if you're in this world, like Nvidia. I had no fucking clue what Nvidia was. Nvidia is a big company and it creates, from what I could understand, their main source of income, I think, is like these microchips that they make. And like AI technology uses these microchips, right? So Donald Trump just went ahead and like signed this whatever, 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 that we're going to invest billions of dollars in Sam Altman. Isn't that his name? Altman and Oracle and all these like AI technology companies. We're going to be the best. We're going to be the greatest. We're going to be the best. We're going to be the best. We're going to be the greatest. We're going to be the greatest. We're going to be the absolute domination of AI in the world. Okay, fast forward to Monday, China says, yeah, okay. And they release Their AI, because you guys know Chat GPT at this point. Everyone knows Chat GPT. If you don't, you're really behind the times. Okay. But Chat GPT, the Chinese came out with their version of Chat GPT in an app form, and it's called Deep Shit. What's it called? It's got a little whale on it. It's called like Deep Seeker, Seeking Deeper. Let me Google it. Deep Seeker AI, Deep Seek, DeepSeek, Deep Seek. Um, they are an AI. They are like the Chat GPT. It's an app, right? You can download it right now on your phone. And they created it at such a fraction of the cost that these people who lobbied basically Donald Trump to sign off on billions of dollars towards their AI world, China was like, yeah, bitch, well, we did it in $5 million. And the tech companies were saying this was going to cost billions. So my NVIDIA stock dropped like $20. So there you go. Just a volatile, cute little market. I think I'm just gonna start investing in like fashion and like skincare and stuff that I know about. Fuck AI. Uh, big tech runs the market. They run the market. They own massive amounts of money. These companies are massive. And yeah, I lost like $20. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot when you're not putting that much into it. So it's climbing back up little by little. I don't know if I'll get back to my baseline, what I put in for, what the price of one share was. I don't know if I'll get back to that, but yeah, that's the way the world works. You see how it's all connected? It's so fascinating to me. And now that I am individually investing in companies, like I am like investing and investigating because I'm like, what is this company? Who are these people? Or are we like on the same page? You know what I'm saying? Because like Meta, no, we're not. Amazon, no, we're not. Microsoft, no, we're not. Google, no, we're not. And if you have an S&P 500, which Warren Buffett and everybody else will tell you, just put your money in an S&P 500. Top 500 companies in America, have at it. Like, just put it in there, leave it alone. But I'm like, no, because now I found out that private prisons are privately owned prisons. I didn't even know that existed. Privately owned prisons. These are some of the companies in the S&P 500. So that's what you're supporting when you're buying shares of these companies. And I was like, oh, you know what? They really get you, don't they? So I'm not down with that. So if that means I'll just be poor and poor forever, then that's fine. And I won't make any money in the stock market on my S&P 500, then that's fine. But like I'm going to individually choose what stocks, what companies that I trust, what companies that morally align with me, what I think is like cool. Some of these companies are cool as shit. I like invested in this like new AI healthcare company called damn y'all, I forget these companies. Tandem AI or something like that. Tempest AI. I gotta look it up. Hang on, let me Google it. Um, yeah, Tempest. So they're like into healthcare, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but what I thought was really cool because I've had melanoma. For those that don't know, I had stage 2 melanoma when I was 28, and I had to have a sentinel lymph node biopsy. So they took out, I think they took out more than one lymph node though, in my groin, and just to make sure that it hadn't spread to my lymph nodes. And this company, from what I read, like they do loads of cancer research. Like they do um, all kinds. There's all different kinds, but I looked at the melanoma, the dermatology tab, and they have testing now that's available that you, if the provider orders it for you, then they send your blood work off to determine whether or not you would be more likely to go into remission or if you um it might come back. Or if you even need to have a sentinel biopsy, like a lymph node removed to be tested, has all this kind of new technology and this new stuff. And I think for cancer patients, that's like wonderful technology to have. Like, even if you go ahead and get the lymph node removed, which I would anyway, because I don't care, like, what's a little swelling on my leg, like, whatever. I would get the thing, but then to have the lab work on top of that to back it up even further that, you got it all or that it's not found in your body anymore, like, whatever. Like, that gives you a lot of peace. And so, yeah, I invested in this company, Tempest AI. I don't know too much about the founders of it. And now I'm looking at the investors. Watch it be like Amazon and fucking Zuckerberg. I hope not. You know who did? Nancy. She invested in it, and that's where I found it initially. So I'm just trying my best. It's kind of like the like chemicals and like when my RO filtered water and like my shower filter and I don't use plastic Tupperware. I wouldn't be caught dead using plastic Tupperware now. And all these things I try to avoid these toxins as much as I can. I try and just do the best that I can with the knowledge that I have and what I'm exposed to. I live right next to a fucking cornfield, so am I ever going to be 100% not exposed to all this nasty stuff in the world? No. And it's like the same thing with this. Like, do I have a sense of morals and values and like the companies that I invest in? Would I like them to have the same similar, just be like good people running companies, like trying to do good things in the world? Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? Like this Tempest AI. Like, I don't know all the ins and outs of this company. Like, who knows who the initial investors are, or like you know what I mean? Or who's really profiting, or like whatever. You don't know all the ins and outs. But like, I'm trying. I try and do the right thing. And if I ever found out that there was some shit that I didn't like, well, I'd sell them. I'd sell the stock. So, yeah, I don't know if that helps you guys at all. But now you know my experience in the stock market. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Like I said, I'm following Nancy now. Am I going to follow it to a T? I mean, I'm already not following it to a T because I'm not investing in like Amazon, Amazon and things like that. And I also just think it's weird that our congressmen and women, like, I'm like, what about conflict of interest? Like, where did that fall in? I'm like, it's so fucked up. And like Martha, y'all put Martha in jail. Y'all put Martha in jail, but these congressmen and women are in here just Meta, Amazon, Nvidia, like all these companies that like rely on the policies of the United States government, and they're the ones. It's wild, you guys. It's so fucking ass backwards. It's ridiculous. So maybe that's the big change. You know what I mean? Like maybe it does all just need to fall apart. All of it. Every last bit of it needs to fall apart and something new will be created in its absence. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's also Age of Aquarius too. Don't forget that. So power to the people. Because the people are capable. The people are smart. The people are capable. The people are willing. The people we know. You know what I mean? And it's also mind-boggling to think of like how many of us there are and like how much power like this select, very small group of people have. I'm not even talking about Donald. I'm talking about like Congress. Like, why do y'all have so much money? Y'all should be broke. Why is Nancy Pelosi almost worth like $300 million? Or I don't even know if she is. Her stock profile. What sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? Just food for thought. I don't know. It just really doesn't make any sense anymore. And to be honest with you, I never even gave it the time of day. But now that everything's a little topsy-turvy, and also I just think everything happens as it should in the world because like now why all of a sudden is my brain understanding the stock market? And why am I putting the pieces together about a private prison and immigration and why and Nancy Pelosi? Like why y'all have so much money? Why are y'all what is this? Like what is happening? Like this is not real government. This is not you're not helping the people. You're not doing anything for us. Like do 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 do. What are the drones? Did I say that earlier? Because they gave some bullshit answer in this White House press briefing today. If y'all caught that, that was like the I thought Mr. Donald was the truth, but he ain't because he lied too, saying they're recreational drones and shit like that. Sir, they're as big as fucking cars. Like, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're gonna make it. I know we're gonna make it. I can feel it. It's gonna be fine. It's going to be fine. So, and if it's not, I have two passports for now anyway. Oh, anyways. Okay, you guys. Just remember again, nervous system regulation. I know I like mentioned that a lot in the last episode because I think it's really important and I think it's like the era that we're in. You have got to trust your intuition. You have got to trust your gut. You have got to ground yourself and stay alert, stay informed, stay vigilant. Can you do everything all the time, everywhere? No, you can't. Just do the best you can and take care of yourself at the same time, you know? That's what I'm doing over here. That's what I'm doing. So I hope this helpful. I mean, I hope this podcast episode was helpful as always. Like I said, I do not have Instagram anymore. So if you're, I don't even know if I said this on this episode, but I don't have Instagram anymore. So if you're looking for me on there, I'm not there anymore. I have not blocked you personally. I have blocked everyone. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg, everyone. And TikTok is like, it's staying for now. I'm keeping it for now. If Elon buys it, I won't be on TikTok either. I won't be on any social media. I did download Blue. Is it Blue Sky? The one that's like Twitter, you guys? Blue Social, something like that. It's like a little butterfly. The app is like a little butterfly. It's like the non Elon Musk Twitter. So I do have that. I haven't been on Twitter since I was probably 18. That's the truth. Because I've tried, you know how many times I've tried to delete that Twitter account? It's like my old email. It's like dits@yahoo.com or some shit like that. I have tried so many times to delete that account and it will not delete. What is that about? I thought those things like disintegrated after a while. Anyways, so yeah, we'll see about social media. I'm just not down with it. I'm not down with that kind of stuff. You're not going to control me. You're not going to do all these things. I'm not going to allow you to. And I'm just going to check off. I'm just going to go off the grid and I'm just going to have to communicate with people like normally. And if you want me to see a photo, you're just going to have to like send it to me. If you want to send me a funny meme, you're just going to have to wait till I see you next time to show me. You know? I don't know. I am looking into other things like Patreon and I do have obviously YouTube. I love YouTube. If they start messing with YouTube, I swear to God, everything is already so censored. If they start messing with my YouTube, y'all, and I can't view my alien videos anymore and shit like that, I'm leaving this country. Do y'all hear me? I'm leaving. If they start censoring my YouTube and I cannot find my shit that I normally watch, I'm out of here. I'm not playing. I mean that. Y'all heard it first. I'm not playing. Um, yeah, you can find me on YouTube. This podcast, it's only edited by me, you guys. I don't even really edit it. And that's it. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we'll chat soon. Bye.